Hi there, it's Kevin with Roguedeckbuilder.com here with a replay of the game I just played with Junk Reanimator versus Bruna Reanimator, and the audio did not work and my opponent rage quit after the first game, but this was just a very hilarious game, so I thought I'd try to re-record this. Sorry if the quality is very poor because I am just opening up the original file and trying to, record over top of a recording, so yeah, hopefully this works out. So first of all, he plays an Avacyn Pilgrim. And let's just get the video going underway here. So Avacyn Pilgrim comes out, and I know I'm going up against Junk Reanimator here. So I will play a Watery Grave into play tapped here. And well, this hand's pretty good because we got the Chronic Flooding. Chronic Flooding is so good in this deck. It allows you to get so many cards in the graveyard so quickly. And he starts off with a Mulch, just finds a Woodland Cemetery, and nothing really too spectacular goes in the graveyard. So we're off to a good start here. I like that Gift of Orzhova, but we will go ahead and throw this Isolated Chapel out and throw the Chronic Flooding on the Watery Grave. So looking pretty good here. We got the Chronic Flooding out second turn. We got the Bruna. We got all the lands to actually cast the Unburial Rites. We just need to draw one more land to actually cast Bruna. And as you can see here, he gets off to a pretty good start with Junk Reanimator, if I remember correctly how this game went, because I do believe he finds an Angel's Serenity here and an Unburial Rites in the graveyard with another Mulch or a Grizzly Salvage. So let's see what comes here. Yeah, so the Angel's Serenity and an Unburial Rites gets to go to the graveyard here. And now I'm like, I can't even really cast Bruna without it getting angeled. But this game is just hilarious. I had a lot of fun playing it. I'm so glad that I got the rage quit too after this game. So we will go ahead and just Chronic Flooding nothing here to put some more stuff in the graveyard, see what we get. And we grab that Lingering Souls, which is awesome. So we get to cast it. Lingering Souls is a later addition to this deck. I decided to put it in because it is very good against aggressive decks, and it's like a free card as well when you Chronic Flood it. I used to have like Thought Scours and stuff like that, but Chronic Flooding, it works so well with Ethereal Armor, and it also is more consistent mill than just a Thought Scour, and it just costs one more. So I'm just going with a package of 4 Forbidden Alchemies and 4 Chronic Floodings. Now, a lot of people suggested that I splash green for Rancor, and Rancor would be awesome actually in this deck, I admit it. But the 4 colors is actually kind of hard. I mean, I'd want to go more heavy green with like Grizzly Salvage and stuff, but I think it would just be bad. And I'm liking this deck, how it works. And I do admit Rancor would be awesome. And the card that I really think would be great in this deck would be the Alchemist Refuge, as you could end of turn Bruna and then just swing in for the win the next turn. The only problem with Bruna is Bruna does not have haste. But what's really cool is Dragon Maze does have, I believe it's the black-red fuse card, is put target creature card from a graveyard into play. And the other one, the other side, the red side, is it gains haste. A creature gains haste until end of turn. I think that's what it is. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at that card again to see what it is, and I'll link it. I'll try to find it and link it. But that's going to be awesome with Bruna because you can put Bruna into play with haste and swing for the win on one turn. So anyway, we're looking pretty good. We can chump block forever with these Spirit Tokens. I know that the Angel Serenity is coming out next turn, so I'm going to bait it out right now. Might as well, because I can cast that Bruna on not the following turn, but the turn after that. I can end up casting the Bruna. So we might as well just Unburial Rites and make him get that Angel Serenity out right now. So I admit this deck, I'll do a deck tech on this deck as well. I'll just hurry and upload this because I did promise there'd be more games of this out today, Saturday. But I will get a deck tech out and show you the exact deck that I'm using. I think this video does record the sideboard, so we'll talk about the sideboard when the sideboard comes out. So I know the Angel Serenity is coming out here to take my Bruna, and I thought he'd take the Spirit Tokens as well, but he decides to take the Thragtusk and Deathrite Shaman out of his graveyard. But that's okay because we have the secondary Bruna as backup, and so far we only have a Gift of Orzhova, but eventually we'll find more cards in here from our Chronic Flooding. I wish I could play some more enchantments. I used to have like the Vampire something. It's out of M13 where it gets +2/+2 in lifelink. And I also had the one that gives a creature unblockable, but I just thought they were too clunky in the deck, and you needed more consistency rather than. I think running just the 4 Gift of Orzhovas and 4 Ethereal Armors is, I think that's the only. Oh, I have 2 Spectral Flights in here as well, so a total of just 10 enchantments. But the way you go through this deck with the Chronic Floodings is a lot of times you do get plenty of enchantments in your graveyard, and plus you do have the Chronic Floodings that can pump up your Ethereal Armor, and the Blind Obedience is in the sideboard that also can pump up your Ethereal Armor. So it's definitely a very, I think the 10 actual enchantments that can go on Bruna are actually plenty. As you can see with this, you'll see with this match in my teaser, I do go through my deck quite quickly. So here I can just cast an Invisible Stalker, can't quite cast the Bruna, and throw a Gift of Orzhova on the Invisible Stalker. And that way, if I have to block stuff, I can block it. You can't Crater of Behemoth yet. I am worried about the Crater of Behemoth in a couple turns, but I'll have Bruna, and Bruna will just eat the Crater Hoof alive. And I will spoil it. I want to spoil it so bad, but just keep watching because it is hilarious late game what I'm able to survive. So he does attack in with these. I'll just chump, save some life here. And so take nothing, still at 14, and he's at 16. I can gain some life here with the Invisible Stalker with the Gift of Orzhova. I'm hoping that the Dragon's Maze actually has some decent enchantments in these colors. Again, I'll be able to add red for Faithless Looting, and I'll probably replace Forbidden Alchemy with Faithless Looting and add some red in there for that graveyard recursion card that also gives haste. And I think that their red has some decent enchantments as well in it. I really kind of like the green red one that gives them haste, but hey, see the thing is Bruna has to attack or block before it gets the enchantment, so you can't put haste on her immediately. So an enchantment that has haste is kind of useless. So I wonder why I guess he can't bounce the Angel of Serenity here, so I wonder why he cast this Restoration Angel, unless he obviously has a Crater of Behemoth and he's trying to get as many creatures out as possible to try to go nuts with Crater Hoof. But I'm going to be able to attack in here with Bruna. I mean, I love decks. Bruna Reanimator is very fun to play against decks that really can't interact with you, and I think that Junk Reanimator is one of those decks because they're trying to go over the top of you and you're trying to go over the top of them. So it's basically whoever gets their reanimation target out first wins. And as you can see, this Junk Reanimator draw wasn't very bad. I mean, he got that 4th turn Angel of Serenity out, which is pretty powerful. So he attacks in with here. He's going to try to get a couple more. His Deathrite Shaman definitely in his hand because he wants to be able to exile these Brunas before I just keep on barrel riding them. But I don't know why he did this, because he allowed me to throw some enchantments, make a 10/10 life-linking Bruna. I'm up to 24. He kills his Angel Serenity, but I think he wanted that Angel Serenity in his graveyard so he can throw another Angel Serenity out and kind of have those looping angels. I think that's what he's trying to go for here. So he does cast that other Angel of Serenity, takes my Bruna, I believe, and grabs his own Angel of Serenity, and I think just like an Avacyn Pilgrim is the only other target he has in his graveyard. So yeah, that's what happens here. Bruna gets exiled under Angel Serenity, got some angel on angel action here. But we got the other Bruna from the Angel Serenity back in our hand. So I'm able, just checking my graveyard here, see exactly what I have, see what I want to do. And I definitely want to throw out this Bruna again. I don't know why I paid 2 life here, but I thought that maybe I could. I didn't even want to do the math and see what kind of mana I'd have up. But able to Chronic Flood here and cast another Bruna. And that way he can't attack into it without Bruna becoming huge, because I do believe I've got an Ethereal Armor and a Gift of Orzhova, and then I'll have a Chronic Flooding out, and I think we find another Ethereal Armor here, but I make a new mistake when I attack. You'll see it in a few turns. I should quit spoiling it here and just shut my mouth. Yep, there's another Ethereal Armor. Cast the Bruna. Again, he can't really attack in to this, otherwise Bruna's huge and I gain a ton of life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's got 7 lands, so I guess he could top a land and Crater Hoof here. But I don't think he decides to do it this turn. And I believe I am going to be able to attack in. I guess he could just keep doing the looping angels if he wanted to, but I'm gaining a net total of a ton of life every time he does that. So his Deathrite comes out, and that is a little bit worrisome. It does get rid of some Brunas for the Emberite targets, but Deathrite Shaman cannot target enchantments, so it's not that big of a deal. The only thing you can get rid of with his Deathrite Shamans are the Lingering Souls tokens. So I think a Thragtus comes out here. I think that's what's coming down. Yeah, Tuskosaurus is coming out, and he's up to 17 life. But again, he can't attack in to Bruna with 2 Ethereal Armors and a Gift of Urzova in the graveyard. So drawn into another Bruna. That's even more ammo against him. Let's see here. I attack here, but I forget to slap on another Ethereal Armor. I just miss it in my graveyard. I really should just expand my graveyard to see what's in there rather than trying to scroll through this kind of like mini graveyard here. But yeah, that's definitely something I'll do in the future. So, because I do miss, on this attack, I do miss an Ethereal Armor, which would have increased my Bruna by a ton. So the Chronic Flooding comes out. That's going to pump up my Ethereal Armor. Another ultimate win condition, of course, in this deck is the Invisible Stalker with Ethereal Armor. And a lot of times you can't, if you're not playing against any sort of board wipe deck, the Invisible Stalker with a Gift of Urzova and Ethereal Armor can get you there. I was able to outrace a Naya deck just with the Gift of Urzova and Ethereal Armor on an Invisible Stalker. And he actually even had a good Naya Blitz draw, but I was gaining like 6 life per turn, and he was only doing like 8 life per turn, and so it was a net 2 damage versus my net 6 damage, and I was able to get there. Anyway, so we're attacking here with Bruna, and here it is again. I miss an Ethereal Armor somehow. Yeah, someone right over that Gift of Urzova. I believe I thought I clicked on it. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see when it's in the mini graveyard there which ones are actually flashing. So I only attack in there for 13, and he does not block. And what he's going to try to do is he's going to Crater Hoof next turn, thinking that his Crater Hoof will be big enough. And I go up to 37. But Bruna says whenever you attack or block, so I am going to have the option next turn to block or to put another Ethereal Armor on my Bruna after he attacks. And I believe that'll bring her up to like a 21-21. So here comes Mr. Crater Hoof. And he does have to tap his Pilgrim. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so his Crater Hoof's going to give all of his dudes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus 6, plus 7, plus 7. So he's going to be attacking with 11, 10, 12, 8, and 12. So let's see. To give me 3 12, so that's 36 damage. 36 plus 8 is 44, plus 10 is 54, so 65 damage here, but I can first strike one of them off and gain 21 life. So it's not going to be enough damage here to kill me. So he does swing in with everything, and I can just first strike off whatever one I want. So I do believe I first strike off the Crater of Behemoth. And yep, so I block, and it triggers I guess I didn't even really need to block these spirits, but it triggers the Bruna, and then I was able to see, yes, I do have another Ethereal Armor in there, and yeah, I'll make sure to click on it this time. And there I kind of lag click here. I'm like, I want to make sure I'm clicking it, but you gotta notice that little blue mark is when you're actually clicking on it. So there we go, 21-21. So I'm going to automatically gain 21 life and absorb that 13 damage from Crater Hoof, and I'll absorb a few more damage from these spirits. But I think I'm still like, yeah, I'm still 11 life after that huge Crater Hoof swing. So so I think he just scoops here and then he rage quits the next game. But we'll show the sideboard here. And yeah, so the sideboard, this is what I got in my sideboard. I got a Sever the Bloodline, a Curse of Death's Hold, Supreme Verdict's Detention Spheres. So Detention Spheres can add to our count, our enchantment count. Verdicts are good against any sort of creature-based deck, especially Naya Blitz and whatnot. If they overextend, a lot of times you can Supreme Verdict for a turn and basically win the game because they've usually like a 4-for-1. But another card I'm thinking about putting in here is just Deathrite Shaman, because Deathrite Shaman actually works very well with your own Chronic Flooding. Even though you can't exile creatures, I mean, I might just want to splash like a couple green sources or something, but Deathrite Shaman can exile sorceries, and it can also help you ramp with, so it's potentially a third turn on barrow rights rather than a 4th turn. So that's another card I am thinking about putting in. Of course, if I did have Geist of St. Tafts, I would put them in, but they are so freaking expensive on MTGO that I do not want to invest in Geist right now. So if you are trying to make this deck a little more competitive, I definitely would put Geist of St. Tafts in here. Anyway, as you can see, my opponent rage quit here. That's the problem with playing in the tournament practice instead of in the queues is they don't have the option. I mean, if they can just quit whenever and it's no loss to them, they can just queue up in another one. In the 2-man queues, they're playing for a pack. I do wish though that there'd be a better prize support for the 2-man queue, because it's 2 tickets each, so 4 tickets are going in the pool for only a pack, and packs sell for like under 3 tickets right now. So no matter what, even if you have like a crazy like 75% win, you're still gonna be losing tickets by playing in the 2-man queues. Anyway, this was a very fun match, a very fun game. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. This is Kevin from Roguedeckbuilder.com. I'll have a deck tech up here short. Thanks for watching.